So also we have been doing systematic theology, and systematic theology is a method to start from very basic first principles and build on them, so that as we build on these knowledges of epistemology, is the study of knowledge, or we build on first principles, ontology, the study of being, we build on these things. Logic, we need to study the Bible logically with non-contradiction, and we pile on, I believe, what is incredible evidence to support the Bible is God's revelation to mankind. And he has spoken, he has revealed. He's revealed himself in special revelation, which is in nature, but he also has revealed himself to us through his word. And it is logical that a necessary being, or a first cause, would have communicated to his contingent being, mankind. He did not just start a process and leave us to figure it out. If we think about any first cause, our parents, for example, we were caused for a purpose, and it is to pass on knowledge, it's to communicate, it's to pass on morality, and to experience love. And it is logical, as we regress to the first cause of the universe, that God created it for the purpose of communicating to mankind and to speak to us morally, rationally, ethically, with knowledge. And therefore we can regress, and it's probably the most logical that we can regress to a first cause that is a being that can communicate in the principle of analogy in the study of ontology. So we've been building on these principles, and they're scientific principles. We are using a scientific method of studying God. People say that we have to be entirely faith-based, and any other evolutionary science is not faith-based, but that's factual scientific evidence. But if you read through the debate I had with the atheist, he used faith all of the time, because there is no empirical evidence for the first cause in evolutionary theory. What we learn is it's a theory based on anecdotal evidence. There's not empirical evidence to support. It is based on a body of theoretical arguments to explain away the existence of God. So we have recently been looking at the possibility of the supernatural. Now, evolutionists, they hold to naturalism. They deny the supernatural. It's only naturalism. Now, really, that's kind of interesting, because most of their theories have not been done in a laboratory-type setting under the scientific model for examining evidence. So they have a bunch of faith in their theory. It's faith-based because there's many problems with their arguments. They take incredible leaps of faith in their model for the origins of man. That they say, well, they're the science and we're the faith-based group. This just is not true. They are very much a faith-based group in anecdotal evidence. Remember, they put together a body of arguments. It's the same thing we're doing. So at the very least, we are both theories. You got to give us at least that. The supernatural, what we've been seeing, becomes a possibility. In fact, it almost becomes a necessity, because nothing in first causes can be explained through naturalism. We've been seeing many reasons to accept the possibility of the supernatural, or the metaphysical, beyond physics. Not the metaphysics you might be thinking of, or the religious sciences and the metaphysical sciences. No, I'm not talking about that. Metaphysics, I'm talking about, just means beyond physics. And we learned that there's a metaphysical precondition in the study of first cause. So there's many supernatural possibilities that we've been seeing. One of them that can be both supernatural and can be theorized naturally is the first law of thermodynamics, and what we know from that is that there's the immaterial part of you goes on. We've actually even hopefully have had opportunities to share this with people. What part of me that is immaterial does, when I die, something leaves and moves on. It's a possibility of eternity, an explanation for eternity, that what happens when the physical dies, you do go on. And the Bible has always made this claim, and it is a possible logical explanation with the first cause. I've also mentioned that I have heard that Einstein is said to have been one of the reasons that he believed in God. He wasn't a Christian, as far as we know, but he was a theist, or a deist at least. He had a belief, because the first law of thermodynamics says energy remains constant. It would move on to somewhere else. The first law of thermodynamics is really a big problem for evolution, because interdependency is a part of the first law of thermodynamics. And interdependency says that everything is dependent on something else. This building is dependent on the foundation of it to hold up this second floor. The base of this second floor, we're dependent on it to be able to be at this level. It's dependent on the first floor. The chairs we're sitting in is dependent on us not falling on the floor. Everything in the universe is interdependent, and it's part of the first law of thermodynamics. And this is a big problem for evolution, because evolution says that something started from a little pop of energy, and now we have the energy in the universe. It's just not scientifically accurate. The supernatural possibility, or the metaphysical precondition, is what we're talking about. We looked at quantum physics. And quantum physics brings up other dimensions of existence beyond its space-time continuum. So even in quantum physics, we learned that there is explanations beyond what was thought to be only a four-dimensional universe called the space-time continuum. And what we have, there are many other theories that are beyond that fourth dimension, which the Bible has always talked about dimensions. Heaven, time, and eternity. The Bible has been consistent here as well. It's always talked about this. And the science of today is starting to look at, oh wow, maybe there are other dimensions. Well, you just needed to read your Bible. You'd have seen that a long time ago.